This is the third time we're shooting this video, so hopefully it is gonna work out. Technical issues, but this is a one-man operation. We have two of us here, but we should probably in the third one who can monitor the cameras and the microphones and everything. Anyway, we'll try to make it good this time. Hopefully it's gonna be uploaded. So what we're doing here is we try to make it once a week, just big and loose content, nothing specifically about training or nutrition. It's more about Madeira, us, how we get here, why we get here, what we're doing in the coach house or in here, and hopefully guys you're gonna like it and know what's better, how we get here, and what was the hardship which has come with renovating an old village house, because we moved from the UK to Madeira Island. And we bought really in a very nice house in a good condition, but it was very old. It was built in the 80s and it hasn't been renovated since then. So we just renovated the whole house. And downstairs here was a cafe, and now we turned it into a gym. That's where we're shooting this. And I didn't like, we knew that it's gonna be a tough one, but I don't think anyone is ready for it. Like, they always like, oh, it's tough and it's hard, but I think everyone is underestimates, and
We have no idea.
yeah, I have no idea.
One thing to keep in mind if you want to move your house is obviously nothing ever goes according to plan, but especially if you're moving to a different country that you've never lived in. Well, I'm Portuguese, but Madeira is its own little thing,
Yeah.
in a way, in many good ways. But you're not used to how things work. You don't know what's the speed at which things are done, how easy it is to get people to do things for you, and all those things. And Madeira is a particular case. It's particularly difficult on that one. I don't think I need to get into very technical stuff, but if people are interested, and anyone that sees this is ever interested into moving to Madeira, we can actually explain how, what's the dynamics of things here. But in general, if you're moving to a different country or a very different place, you should have that in mind. It's not just that it's good to plan things ahead, because even if things don't go to plan, at least you have a plan.
Yeah.
But also just take into account that you don't know how things work in that place, and not necessarily it's going to be as it would be if you were just moving house in the same city, for example.
Yeah, we try to go because we like to plan ahead and in a lot of sense. But we hired the designer, made the whole design, like how we're gonna, because we had pictures of the house, but obviously we were there. But we wanted to bring something here, like, okay, we have a design, we showed it to contractors, and then they can do it for us. It's
so
rubbish.
Naive.
Yeah,
so naive.
Yeah. Don't even try, because this is a small island. So first of all, they don't have much stock and much stuff at all. If you can find something, you have 5 or 10 shops where they can supply you with something on the whole island. And then whatever they have stock or not, I mean, they have a thick catalog. You can order from the mainland Portugal, but it's gonna take you 20 days minimum, working days, which takes you to like 4-6 weeks. And that's the minimum. If they have the stock in Portugal, if you want something special, you want to be shipped here, it's gonna take 6 to 8 weeks. And then you have to find contractors who is not overworked, and they can work on your house, and you're not gonna just hire them for like a period, because they work like 3-4 different places, and then like Wednesday they come here, Thursday they go somewhere else. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they're not. It's not like they don't work hard, they work hard, but it's just because they're so overwhelmed. And so I guess it's just not really like a consistent business, maybe, or it's like you never know when you're gonna get job or whatnot, so they just take everything what they offer, and sometimes they just like overbooked, and they start working on your house, then they have to job somewhere else. One is like your wall is drying, they go somewhere else, so they start to juggle. But if they have to show up everywhere at the same time, they cannot. So there's like a lot of delays.
It's been a boom.
I think we were
people coming to Madeira, hasn't there? Very recently, like over the last 2 years. I think it was already happening, but then pandemic, so things got a little bit blocked, and then everyone that was trying to come here came, and they were like, wow, there was already a boom before, but now they're feeling it even more. And I think now everyone is overbooked.
Yes, yeah, very hard to find someone. But I think we're done now, at least in the inside of the house.
Half a year later?
Yeah, yeah, 6 months. I don't think, like, in considering everything, I think we did well, because we did the way we did it is we upgraded one side of the house, and why the workers couldn't work, we were doing the paintings and a lot of work we did ourselves. So it's not like when they were not here, there's nothing been done, because we did the paintings, we did a lot of cleaning, trash and stuff like this. So we did a lot of things while they were not here, or at least we tried. So we lived in one part of the house while they didn't doing something, and then we moved to that part, and then they destroyed the other one, and then they destroyed the gym or the cafe, and then the building the gym. So there was always something where we actually could live and work. Sometimes it was a little hard, so we have to work like a co-working spaces and stuff like this. But actually we pulled it off without living in a hotel or something, because we moved from the UK, we couldn't go anywhere else. It's not like we had like an extra house here, you know. So if you're coming from here, plan the way that is gonna be.
Another thing that was an obstacle was the delay of our things arriving from the UK to here. They were we kind of planned things in a way that one of us came first, the other one stayed behind, and as the both of us moved into the house, our things should be arriving, but then it was like a full extra month, or
7 weeks.
7 weeks in total. Right?
They said 3 weeks max.
3 to 4 weeks, so it took like almost an extra month. So we're camping in the house, in half of the house, whilst we're in the other half, and then
It was tough.
Biggest challenge or biggest pain, and the thing you most like in the island.
Biggest pain, I don't know. It was just it's hard to choose, because everything was like it was a constant development. So one was like, it's kind of like no rest. Maybe we had like a week rest in between or something, but something was always on. So we have like an ensuite bathroom, so we get that done really quickly, and then it took 2 weeks.
Very quickly, 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was very quick. That's a tiny bathroom, and so once that been done, we did the painting and everything. But at least we could use that bathroom, which was like very nice. Really liked it. And then they started to work on the gym. Was it at the gym? Yeah.
Downstairs.
Yeah, they started to hammer the walls and everything. It was very loud. They took out the garage door, and they didn't bring another one. It was like hilarious. Like we had like the big metal garage door, very old one. So like when we ordered the nice, what is it called? Like a slider door, which is full glass. So you can see, like, we have a lot of lights in, but you can close it, but people can also see this. It looks like a window shop. So we ordered that, and the bell.
The bell.
So we ordered the slider door, and then what happened? Like, okay, we take down the garage door. So they took down the garage door, but the other door didn't came for like 3-4 weeks. So we have like no door for weeks in here. So we have to keep everything empty. Thanks God the gym stuff got delayed. So it was even hilarious, and everything was here, and then there's no door. But on the other hand, like, the gym delayed so much. Everything was ready, painted, and then the gym stuff finally arrived. And then what the delivery company did? They destroyed the door, so we couldn't close the door. Like, I told them, like, don't pull the trolley over the door, because it's gonna damage. No, it's gonna be fine. And then pulled it, damaged door. They damaged the slider, the tracks, so you couldn't slide the door. I was like,
It was a 3-ton pallet of equipment, 3,000 kilos, and then obviously how do you call the rack?
The track, yeah.
The track, where the door slides. But they tried to be nice in the way that they tried to, like, reopen
hammer
it
it
again.
back
So,
in
so that
place.
we have to put a new one, but at least we can kind of slide the door carefully. Man, adventures. I think for me the hardest thing was always having noise, like 8 to 10 hours per day sometimes, because we have two different teams at times doing different things. So one starts at 8, the other one starts at 10 or something. The other one finishes at 7, another one, whatever. And both of us work from home. Yeah. So I think both of us were always so tense, stressed, I suppose.
The noise, it was like, yeah, it was tough, but you can put a headphone. The worst thing, it was the dust, like the constant cleaning, man. My hands was like blisters, because just every day you just clean and you have this construction dust, and you can just never get rid of it. And then obviously they were work one part of the house that was like total trash, so we tried to like isolate it with like plastics and stuff like this. We try to close rooms in so it doesn't come through, but it's always going to come through. And then workers are moving, get in, doors are open, so the dust was just constant cleaning for weeks, months, just non-stop cleaning. Like I wake up, clean everything, they come, they destroy everything, you clean again, and they just non-stop this construction dust. And
big advice in general as well, again, for anyone that wants to remodel a house or refurbish a house. If there's another place that you can live in, do it. Because, man, first of all, it will take probably longer than what you were planning. So like, oh, I'm going to have like a week of hell and then things are fine. Well, not necessarily. And then it's like, it's always worse than what you imagine. Because, for example, for me, at least, I don't know, I get distracted with nothing, pretty much, out of the blue. I just get distracted. And there are noise and noise, right? Some noise you can kind of block with headphones, but for example, it's not, even if you can like muffle it a little bit, because sometimes I was wearing the earplugs and the headphones, and you feel the vibration because it's under the office. I was like, sometimes we just needed to leave the house.
yeah, to get away.
Yeah. Well, I remember sometimes like it was a last minute meeting or something. I had to get out of the house. I went into the church patio because we live in front of a church. And we started the meeting, and as soon as the meeting started, I was like saying, oh, sorry that I'm outside, but the doors in the house are very noisy. And the bell, boom. And everyone's like, wow, that's very loud.
That's crazy. Yeah, if you don't know, like we live literally next to a church, and it's like an old church in Portugal, like a traditional church there, like they bangs, but it's not just function as like calling for mass, or someone is like a funeral or like a wedding, and it's like you hear the bells, but it's like it's function as a clock, so it hits every 15 minutes.
A double bong.
Yeah, 15 you get 1, and half an hour you get 2, quarter to the hour you get 3, and then full hour you get 4, plus the hours what it is. So if it's 12 o'clock you get 4 because it's full hours, plus 12 more, so you know that it's 12 o'clock.
It stops at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
but it restarts at
7 a.m. Saturday, Sunday, everything is just that, plus if you have funeral or like a wedding, it's that plus the mass, so it's just non-stop banging. And it was very annoying, but there's a lot you get used to it. I know it's impossible to use it, but actually you can get used to it, and they kind of like sometimes you hear very loud, but sometimes like when you notice that means you haven't noticed the previous, I don't know, million ones. But yeah, it's very loud. Yeah, sometimes I have like a meeting outside because I couldn't be in it, like so sorry, 9 o'clock mute and then back in.
And we were saying like yesterday that we don't fight much. We very rarely fight. During this 6 months, I think we had all our fights for the previous years that we've lived together. It was so intense. Because we were, as we were saying, we couldn't sleep very well. We always super tired because we have to work and then work on the house and then clean all the mess from the day, then clean the mess before the day starts or whatever. It was very, very tiring. And we were both just very stressed all the time and tired and everything. But we survived, and I'm proud. Yeah. I'm proud of us. I think we did well.
It was very tough.
I think they're good. Favorite thing on the island?
Favorite thing on the island? Man, I don't know. It's still like seem a little bit in a culture shock because every time you go somewhere, it's just so nice. Every time you just look out the window, it's just beautiful, and I really like this to watch the sea. But then you look on the other side, and it's like a nice hill, lush, it's like a Jurassic Park. It's just amazing, and you can always do whatever you want. If you want to go down the ocean, you go down, swim in the ocean, and then you can go up and hike. If it's too hot, you go up in the mountains. If it's too cold, you go down on the beach, and then it's lots to do. And obviously now we have our private gym, which we always wanted, and then that's how we live a fit life, and that's my work and my passion as well. And now we don't have to travel to the gym and pay rent for the gym, because as a personal trainer you have to pay for the gym to be able to work there. So that was a not big minus for us every month. Yeah.
The rent to be able to teach people in the gym, then paying the flat rent, then and now it's like a two-in-one. We have the house and the business that we will hopefully establish here, and good things ahead. Obviously with its challenges always, but
obviously the language is going to be harder for me because I have to learn a new language, but I'll adapt.
But you already started un pouquinho. It's interesting that you sometimes actually already kind of understand what people are saying. Probably like you catch a few words, and then for the contest or from the context you kind
I
of
guess it's easier if you learn a language. If you have speak another language than your mother tongue, then it gets a little easier.
And you have a bit of Spanish.
Yeah.
So you pick some things up that are quite similar.
Yeah.
Although the accent is very...
The accent is hard, and you don't have to overthink it, because if you try to analyze the language, like, oh, it doesn't make sense, it's stupid, it's not going to help you. You just have to roll with it and just listen, and then... But it's hard, like you would think, like, oh, you have a Portuguese wife, then it's easy, but she doesn't speak Portuguese to me, we just speak English. So she doesn't speak my language, I don't speak her language. You would think it's easy, but why would you talk to another language? It's just easier if you speak in English.
Yeah, we need to. It's something that we need to improve on. I need to speak to you in Portuguese more, but obviously, we've been so busy. To be honest, I think we need to be a little easy on you on that one, because we've been so busy that if I'm trying to teach you Portuguese while we are like trying to actually solve problem solving and always something happening that wasn't planned and everything, you'd just be mad at me, really. Like, no, but you need to. Don't you know this word?
Did you ever regret starting it during the process? Do you ever regret starting moving here really, and stuff like this?
No, never regretted, like, oh, I wish I hadn't done this because it's so hard. Obviously you feel like tired and you're like, I wish this was over. Yes, that obviously popped into my mind a lot. But I wish I've never done it, or I regret having, taken this step. No, we knew exactly what we were doing. Although, as I said, nothing ever goes to plan. But the whole of the concept, we knew what we were getting into. We know there were going to be a lot of obstacles and everything. And we have very specific goals in mind. We've been planning this for a while. And so, no, I think we did pretty good. In general, it was the first time that we took such a big step, because we both were living in a foreign country, so it's not like a huge shock for us in that regard, like it's the first big move that we do in our lives, but we did it first of all with someone else, right? Which usually you do these things in a bit more of an independent way, or at least in my case. Also, when you go somewhere, not like previously we weren't buying a house, so if things don't go as you like, you can go back, And obviously this time was you moved countries with someone, you're buying a house with someone, and you're buying a house as well in itself is already, a responsibility and something that you will get stuck with in a way. So yeah, it was a lot of things, but because we've had those goals for a while, and that was the plan. So yeah, I never regretted it. It was just very challenging also because other personal things, as you know, that we don't necessarily need to get into here in terms of like helping family and stuff happened in the meantime as well. In between, I have to be away for a little bit. So those things also didn't contribute for us to be relaxed and in our, most productive state or energetic state. But in the end, things happen. We've done it. Anyway, did you ever feel like, oh hell, if I knew I wouldn't?
No, if I had like a stressful day or something, like I feel like, oh, like I just had enough, or you had, I just always remind myself, like, look, we're living in a tropical island. You don't have to worry about like heating or food or whatever. What's the worst thing can happen? Like nothing. We are healthy. We have a house we're working on. If everything goes bad, we just live in the house where we already have. There's always a beautiful view. It's a lot of food, and it's nothing like we have to. It's nothing serious compared to other stuff. It's just stress what we're putting on ourselves. So if like,
yeah, exactly.
We had enough with the painting, then we just don't paint on that day or something like that. Like we can always, nothing like, we don't have a deadline or something like, oh, we have to finish with this, I have to do this, otherwise something happens. It's all stress we just put in ourselves. So I always have to remind, like, okay, like we don't have to push ourselves. Let's just enjoy. We moved here to enjoy life, not to create more stress.
Yeah. In what regards, or in what refers to the house and all these, all of our problems were good problems, really, right? Or were coming from a good situation. We were getting into a better situation. And obviously, all movings, all changes have obstacles, as we both know, and they were coming from us stepping into a better place. So really, I'm the same. I mean, I'm not exactly the same. Actually, I kind of learned to give myself permission to feel stressed and to feel bad, and I'm trying like not to feel guilty about it, because it doesn't matter how good your life is. You will have bad days, right? You'll have days in which you'll feel sad. What I try to do is to just say, look, I'm having a bad day today. And not necessarily for a specific reason, but maybe for an accumulation of tiredness, things that have happened in between that we didn't have a chance to deal with, and now are like dawning on me, and I'm like, okay, now I have the opportunity to feel sad about this thing that happened that I was just plowing through, and now I can like, I'm so sorry, I'll have a bit of a sad day, whatever it is, and just try to withdraw a little bit, try not to weigh the other person too much with it. And I think we now are kind of back to that dynamic of, if in those rare occasions that the other one is a bit more tense or whatever, if they need space, we give a bit of space to each other. So that's how we always managed our situation, and just allow the other person not to feel great every single day, right? and that's how you also prevent conflict a little bit. You adjust, you adapt, you show a bit of understanding, and sometimes it's all the person needs. Yeah. And also, as I was saying, like adapting to the other person. Some people need more support when they feel sad. Some people need more space, right? So this bell really interrupts my. This happened like all the 3 times we were trying to record this video.
Bell.
This is the banger. This is the Sunday Massa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the mic picks it up, but. Ooh.
Even
no, the cat's good. I think it's a I think it's a great place to finish this now. So I think it was enough for today. Let us know if you have any questions about moving here, Madeira, or the coach house, and then we put it into the next episode. Until then, bye.
It's so funny because it's just here. It's right here. Sometimes you don't hear it, but if you hear it, it really gets into your train of